I started playing, I'm one of these musicians that I knew I wanted to play. First time I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. And I knew this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to play in a band. And that was the start for me. I met Quentin, and they were playing a place called, in Lancaster.
I had met Dave years ago in the 80s when the Hooters were on a big upswing and they were just getting ready to get signed. We were playing a club in Lancaster called The Village. And we were the opening band, and Eric and Rob and Dave and everybody was really kind to me and the singer in the band, and they gave us a lot of good advice.
He became a producer and playing guitar. I did a session for him. So we became fast friends. He had a really cool band, and I did some sessions where I played on some Robert Gordon stuff he did, some other things he had. And we hit it off, so it's like musicians usually hit it off. We started playing music together.
I connected with him on a session, and we just started working together. And the next thing I know, he tells me about Kenny Aaronson, who, of course, everyone knows Kenny. He's awesome. He's played with everyone.
I've been a fan of Kenny Aaronson, our bass player, forever, since Derringer. And then he moved into my neighborhood. And when he moved in, of course, I called Quentin. I said, "You're not going to believe he moved in the neighborhood, Kenny." And he said, "Let's get together." So we did. And it's a pretty simple story. We just all connected musically.
So moving down to Wayne is when I met David, and he kind of brought me started introducing me and bringing me into the local scene that he's been involved with. I met Quentin through him, and we started working with Quentin, and Quentin's a real character. I love the guy.
We were doing a Robert Gordon show, so we played with Robert, Kenny, me, and Dave. And then we started talking about doing some other stuff. We started to back Billy Burnett up on a tour. And after that, Dave and I, we all just said, well, let's keep going. And we started playing under our own name, QDK, and it just kind of morphed, and that's how we got together. And what we do is a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of blues, it's a little bit of rockabilly, and some straight up rock and roll. I mean, where we fit in the scheme of things, if you want to say, is where our roots are, that post-59 pre-Beatles rock and roll. And I feel there's a need for new music in that style. And of course, everything there's so many different styles of music now, and there's room for everything.
So really, why I enjoy playing with this band so much is, one, Quentin has been known a lot for playing rockabilly, and we've all played in rockabilly bands, but it's not necessarily a rockabilly band because we do some American roots and we have that sound, and it's really a combination of what we do now and preserving that incredible music and that sound and keeping that alive.
I come from what I consider the golden age of rock and roll music, basically. I mean, I grew up with the 50s music and 60s, started playing at the end of the 60s. Like I said, Beatles, Stones. I currently play with the Yardbirds. This is all, to me, the greatest music on the planet ever had. Music has changed so drastically. It's gone away from people playing together in a room to everything being done in a computer in someone's bedroom, which is great, but I think you need people creating together in a moment, and I think that's become kind of a bit lost to some degree.
I definitely believe with QDK, at least my mission is to preserve the heritage of rock and roll.
So, I think it's important. I love other bands that do it, but we love that sound, so, why not?